What hurts?
My knee.
Your knee. Okay, come on up. Okay? Okay, if you can. So how long have you had this discomfort in your knee?
Oh, a while, but then I fell in the shower this morning, so now.
From the shower. Oh, that's. Have a seat. That's good.
Right here?
You want to do it facing this way?
I'm going to have, yeah, if you face this way, so you can, right. Boy, well, that's, okay. Let me ask you, on a scale of 1 to 10, we're doing SUDS now, on a scale of 1 to 10, where is it now?
Probably 4.
A 4? Okay.
4 moving into 5.
Moving into a 5?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're going to see a doctor about this, get it checked out, or you've already seen a doctor
No,
about this?
I will.
You're going to go see a doctor about this, okay.
I promised somebody Thursday I would.
You promised me, I've done that before. Let me ask you something. Is the discomfort helping you any in your life?
No?
No, it doesn't. So it doesn't serve a purpose, so getting rid of it would be okay
It would
for
be
you.
good, yeah.
It would be a good thing? Okay, could you take off your glasses? Okay. Okay, that's fine. Now what I want you to do is close your eyes down. Okay, face forward, that's great. Now what I want you to do, you said it was at a 3 or a 4. What I want you to do is move it up to a 6 or a 7. Just tell me when you're there.
Okay.
Okay. Now, will you do what I ask you to do, please? Okay, it's real simple. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to open your eyes. At that point, I want you to look at my fingers and follow my fingers where they go, okay? Keep your head facing forward and don't move your head, just use your eyes, okay? Okay. Okay, Nita, open your eyes. Follow my finger. Okay, Nita, it's a really interesting thing, isn't it? Just now, you came here and you told me, hey, Tim, follow, 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 follow. Keep your head straight, that's it. You said, Tim, I want to move this pain down. Follow, 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 follow. Tim, I want to move this pain down. But what you did instead was you moved it up, which was an interesting thing, a silly thing to do, but the fact is, follow, follow, follow. But the fact is, you were in control. You determined you could move it up or down. Because if you can move it up, you certainly can move it down. As a matter of fact, thinking about it now, you could be moving it down. I don't know. That's entirely up to you. Keeping your head there, but you could notice that your knee's feeling better. You could. That's entirely up to you. But you're in control. Follow, 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 follow. Are you noticing something? Okay, I'll talk about it in a minute. That's it. Keep your eyes. Don't keep your head still. Okay, that's it. But the fact is, you can move it up, you can move it down. You're in control. No one else can do that for you. And you could do it now. As a matter of fact, you might realize now, keeping your head facing forward, just use your eyes. I won't move my hand as much, okay? What you might notice is the discomfort's disappearing. It's going lower and lower. It could even be gone. I don't know. It'll be gone eventually. Could be today, could be tomorrow, could be when you see your doctor, could be before. But that's entirely up to you. Okay, close your eyes. Where's your knee now?
It feels pretty good. Actually, it's about a 2.
A
So it
2?
went down, yeah. 2, 1, 2.
2 or 1. Okay. Well, let me ask you something. Where would you like it to be?
0.
0? You want to do that now?
Sure.
Okay, why don't you do that now, okay? Follow my fingers again, okay? Now, the thing is, we just keep your head still, okay? What we noticed is you can move it up, you can move it down. As a matter of fact, one of the problems is you're thinking, this is ridiculous. I'm holding on to this and I don't need to. As a matter of fact, I moved it from a 4 to a 2 or even a 1. Why don't I just move it to a 0? But you're questioning to yourself, can I do that? Can I make that change? Follow, follow, follow. That's it. You know what? I don't know. That's up to you. Again, you're in control of your life. Nobody else can do this for you. But that's true about our whole lives. We're in control. We don't have to let other people or other events affect us. That's entirely up to you. So now you can determine to move it to 0.
About 0.5.
0.5. Okay, well, she wants to hold on to it. There are some things I can't. Okay, but you realize now it's a lot better, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
And
all
that
right.
was fun.
That was fun, yeah.
Made me laugh. It's like,
Okay, good. Well, laughing's fine. Well, thank you very much.
So is that EMDR?
No, it's not. Okay, that's a great question. This is CMDR. I started using this technique. I was taught, I've been with the NGH for over 20 years this year, okay? My instructor was a guy named Bert Goldman. Does anybody here know who Bert Goldman is? Yeah. Bert's phenomenal. He's called the American monk. He does a hand-eye technique. And when I was taking the class, he said, try this. And he did the hand motions and stuff. And they were just very random. And he said, essentially, it's what you tell them, what they need to believe, and they're gaining an understanding of their own control. So don't be afraid, just do it. And I've been practicing it. I went to the NGH several years ago. Rick Saruna does something very similar. I had never heard of EMDR before, never heard of it. It's similar though, I think. Let's talk about the similarities between the EFT. EFT asks you to bring it up to make it so you can take it away, right? If you bring it up though, the exact opposite has to be true. You can take it down. What that shows you is you have some control over yourself. This whole technique is designed to show people that they have control. And it's very true. I'm sure you've walked in from being injured, or you go from the garden and you see a huge bruise on your arm and you don't know where it came from, but you feel no discomfort at all. How does that happen? How does it happen? You don't need it. The discomfort doesn't serve a purpose for you. So why do you hold on to it? Because you think it's supposed to be there. It doesn't. Discomfort is there to tell you need to see a doctor, you need to have something addressed. Beyond that, it doesn't serve a purpose. Get rid of it. You're going to see a doctor, and that's one of the first things I said. Are you going to see your doctor, or have you seen them? That tells you that discomfort doesn't serve a purpose for you. I hit her with a truism, right? We're not supposed to go through life in pain, okay? Unless we're married. No. Clip that out. Don't let Janet see that part. Yeah, that's it. The point is, you don't need to have that. So what you do is you get rid of it. By them following, you'll notice I put the pattern in the back. There are elements of NLP here, right? This is an NLP chart, right? By making the circle, whatever area she hits, you saw how her eyes began to scan out? That's when I said, did you notice that? When you see the video, I asked Jason to make the video. Her eye began to jump, different areas. That means there's an area where her eyes are not in, I call it congruence, they're not in balance, and her eyes began to jump. So I went back and said, follow, follow, follow. And I repeated some of the phrases to try to get that area there might be something that's allowing her or causing her to hold on to the discomfort. By going over it again, I'm essentially, I call it, leveling off your concrete, your cement, right? You're leveling it off, or like cleaning something so it's all level. You're trying to level those things off. And then the eyes, again, toward the end, her eyes were going pretty much evenly in a circle, weren't they? And at that point, the discomfort was almost gone. So that's the technique I use. I also use this for essentially the same thing Ted does, resistance to change, and for people to go deeper. It's also an excellent convincer. It's an excellent convincer. Because if you show people that, I literally, in how long was that, 5 minutes? I took it from a 4 to a 0.5 in 5-6 minutes, yeah.
Just wanted to say, it occurred to me that I could let it go.
Mm-hmm.
I felt, it was almost like goosebumps.
Yeah.
I felt it leave
Yeah.
energetically from
Yeah.
in here. I didn't know it was there, but
Yeah.
it went.
But that's the thing. When you hit, the truth is, some people feel pain because it allows them to know they're alive.
Yeah.
It sounds like a horrible thing. Why would people want to go through life? Because it makes them know they're alive. It's a horrible way of viewing things, but to some degree, that is true. It's the idea of people hitting themselves in the head because it feels so good. I put that because it feels so good when you stop, But if we get to the realization that we can release those things, and that's essentially what the Simpson Protocol does. You get down to the very bottom of this and you say, okay, I don't need to hold on to these things. I can release them. It's time to do that. Instead of just having them that heavy baggage that you've been carrying with you your whole life, okay? Yes?
Your back was turned to me so I couldn't see
Mhm.
what your hands were. Can you kind of
Oh,
show
yeah.
us where you round and back and forth or what you were doing?
Okay.
All that? Okay.
It was essentially just a circle,
Oh.
okay? Occasionally I went back and forth.
Okay.
The first time you do the circle is to check for compliance. You want to make sure they're complying. The first circle is for compliance to make sure they're doing it, okay? After that, when they get in the circle, then you're doing pretty well. You know they're going to follow you. And if they're following you, they don't have a chance to question what's going on. The critical factor gets bypassed. And one of the ways I do that is when I say, you're in control, nobody else can be. And if their eyes, people just automatically want to comply with anything. They want to comply. Makes sense. If somebody asks you to do something, it's the idea of the handshake technique. You reach up, you flip their hand, and right? It becomes automatic. People want to please. When I say follow, 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 she says, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. Then I hit her with the suggestions of what she needs to do. Get rid of the discomfort, eliminate it, take care of it now. It's the same thing, bypassing the critical factor, and then they follow again.
What's going around is not
Right.
going down and back.
When her eyes went back and forth, I went this way, just to change the pattern. We'll start again.
Okay.
You know, that was a good question. I apologize. So, yeah,
Oh, no problem, no problem.
yeah.
So two questions. One is, what if somebody has been to the doctor and they've got, well, I know a client who has, bone-on-bone osteo something in their knee.
Yeah.
And, they know what's going on and there's not a whole lot that they feel that they can do about it. Is this a realistic approach, knowing that you got that medical issue? And B, how long can you, like if a person were to ask, well, how long will I be pain-free? How do we keep it real?
We'll check with you tomorrow. At least one day. No, that's horrible. But no, that's a good question. Let me ask you, bone on bone, there should be some discomfort. What purpose does it serve? None. I'm not saying physiologically there shouldn't be. We've already learned, though, when you walk in from the outside and your arm is bruised and you don't feel the discomfort, your mind can shut it off. You know? If you acknowledge, and that's one of the things you're trying to essentially inform them. I know you have to get going. I don't want to keep going too long.
But I would like to add a little bit to that.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I'm going to complete here, and then if they're informed and they realize they do not need to feel the discomfort, even if it's bone on bone, even if it's intractable pain, this technique, I've used it for people who lowered their discomfort level a lot. With the doctor's approval, absolutely. I know that's what you're going to ask.
No, I was going to add, and you leave the pain where it is, and you get rid of the
Right.
Yeah.
I've had people who, I've had people where I get rid of the discomfort to the point that I say, if the discomfort comes back and it's necessary for you to see a doctor, we'll be there. Because it does serve a purpose. But when it's done that, there's no reason. Yeah, I've had people who should, not bone on bone, not that particular thing, but I've had people who've had cancers, and the discomfort goes. Okay, so,
So you
yeah.
basically explain to them, your brain can shut off that pain.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. Go ahead, Ines.
Okay, well, I was going to say, there's many things, even back in the 50s and 60s, when Elman was teaching doctors, way back then, the doctors were using this themselves. We've gone